today. Today we're going to talk about receiving more. If you have ever felt like I'm doing so much but people don't return it to me, and I'm giving so much, I'm doing so much, but I don't receive what I want, I feel like I'm coming too short. If you feel like you're exhausted and you're burned out and you're just doing so much and your needs are not fully getting met, then this video is for you. This topic has been such an issue for me in the past, and just in the past month I really found peace and just really healed this pattern, and I have seen such positive differences in my life where I feel like none of my needs are getting met, where I was unable to communicate my needs, where I was very hyper independent due to past trauma, to a place where I feel super supported. I always ask for what I want, I receive what I want, I receive everything I need, and I feel super supported, super loved, and I feel super rested, super relaxed, and happier than ever in my life. So let me start with a personal story. For me, I was unable to get my needs met because of two reasons. One reason is I didn't feel worthy of receiving, and I thought people are gonna love and like me more when I do more for them. And that's why I was constantly giving and not receiving. And I thought the more I'm giving, the more I will receive. But it never happened. I just gave more and gave more and gave more of my time, of my energy, of my resources, and I didn't receive in return. If this sounds familiar to you, then keep on watching this video. And the second reason is I was very scared of intimacy, also due to past trauma, and I was so scared to ask for what I want because I didn't want it to be a burden. I didn't want it to be annoying. I was scared to ask for too much, and especially the I'm scared to ask for too much, I have seen a lot in women, way more than in men. And yeah, so actually there's a third reason. The third reason is I was not really connected to my own needs. So I did not really know what do I need and what do I desire, because it was so deep down within myself. Because it was underneath a lot of like guilt and shame, and I felt guilty for having needs. I thought it's bad to have needs. I just felt guilty. And then on the other side, I became very frustrated and very angry because it builds resentment. It builds resentment when we always in a giving mode, especially as women, and we don't receive anything in return. And we feel so empty and so exhausted. But how did I come from this state to receiving what I want, getting my needs met, communicating my needs in a healthy way, and feeling safe and secure in relationships? It was obviously inner work. That's what the channel is about. And the first thing is I felt more safe. So I did a lot of somatic exercises, so physical exercises that release blocked emotions from my body. One way is I just did cold showers and like ice bathing every single morning, and that resets my nervous system. So for me, I started to shake sometimes, and I started to cry sometimes when I went like into a cold water or got a cold shower, because it was coming out of my nervous system. And the second thing is I did trauma release exercises. These are exercises that release those blocked emotions from my body, and you might start shaking then, and you might start crying then, and all these build up trauma is just getting out of my system. And I did that for every single day, every morning or something. And I just released a lot of emotions, and my body came more into a state of safety. And of course, it is important that we are in a state of safety. So, if you currently live in an environment that is not safe, although inner work is great and it's a good start, but once we are in a safe environment, then we can fully heal. And so that's what I did. So I felt more safe and more secure. And then I started to learn how to communicate my needs and desires. And first of all, the first realization was people don't know what I need until I say so. It is basic, but it is important. I was always like, people don't want to give me what I need. And I believe that people don't care for me. But once I believe that people care for me and I just have to tell them what I need and they will be glad to meet that need, it comes from a different kind of energy. When I started to communicate my needs, I communicated in a very more aggressive and defensive way because I was so scared and I wanted to protect myself. And now I say it in a way more soft way, in a more relaxed way, in a more loving way, because in my mind I'm like, this person cares for me, this person loves me. If they say no, it is because they don't have the resources right now. It is not because I am not important and I'm not worthy of love. So that's the first thing. And in the beginning, it was not always super easy for me. So I was so scared to ask for whatever I wanted. And I started step by step to ask for, hey, can I get some of your food? Hey, can you help me carry these heavy bags? Hey, can you give me a lift? Like all of these small things in my daily life that would make my life so much easier and that would make me feel very loved and cared for, and just started to ask. And this one sentence I remembered from the book Keep Your Love On from Danny Silk is taking full responsibility for communicating our needs. And I add taking full responsibility for communicating our needs and then releasing control about the result. Because when my job is to communicate what my need is, then my job is not to make the other person do it. I control that I said it. If they say no, that's okay. And I can move on. And either solve it on my own or ask another person to help me do it. And in the beginning, when people said no, it really put me in a helpless state because I was not used to asking for help. And if people said no and rejected me, then I felt like so helpless, like nobody wants to help me, nobody's there for me. But I just kept going and I continued to ask and ask and ask for whatever I wanted or I needed in this moment. And it was so uncomfortable very often. And now it just became like the most normal thing to ask, hey, would you like to help me with this? Or would you like me to help me with this? And asking for help is a big skill. And I think it's a skill that we can all learn more of and become better in, because I didn't want to ask for help because I thought I'm a burden for another person. And I realized me asking for help very often makes the other person feel like very happy and they want to help me. And often they feel privileged that I ask them, because when I ask you to help me with this and this, it means that I think that you're capable and I choose you because I believe that you're the perfect match to help me with that. This is a big compliment. So yeah. And then one thing, sometimes people said, yeah, I'm gonna help you with that, and then they forgot. And I started to assume, hey, they're so busy that they didn't get to do it. Instead of thinking, hey, I'm not important enough, that's why they didn't answer yet or didn't do it yet. And just by making these small changes of my belief system and of my thought patterns, my relationships and my connections to other people absolutely increased. And like, that's how I went from not receiving anything to receiving more and more and more, and just feeling loved by receiving. And I think the biggest thing is shame and guilt in this topic, because very often, especially women, feel very guilty to receive more and to get more. And I sat with those feelings and just listened. Hey, what is behind it? So that's what I did. It's like writing down receiving more. And then I believe when I receive more, I will get punished. I will get, my parents are gonna be mad at me. I don't know, just beliefs that are coming up. And just like seeing what thoughts are connected to receiving more. Receiving is, and then you write down, receiving is safe. Receiving is dangerous, you might believe. Receiving is a trade, and then I have to owe somebody something. That's what a lot of people think when I get, like, I receive something from somebody else, I owe them something. This is not the case. If another person is really willing to offer you their help, and you don't owe them something. It is in our human nature to want to reciprocate it, but it does not mean that we owe people something. So, and when we learn to receive more, we can also ultimately be more in our feminine energy, because it is so feminine to receive. When we receive, we can relax more, we can rest more, we can be more in our feminine energy, and just our joy and happiness when we receive something makes other people happy, and our energy is nourishing the people around us. I have one woman, she's like maybe in her 50s, and she has the most feminine and nourishing energy. And when you're in her presence, it feels so open, and just like her hug and when she's talking to you feels so good and so nourishing. And this is what feminine energy is for me. It is not in what we do, but in our presence, in our softness, and in our kind and loving way that we nourish the people around us. And we can be this feminine and beautiful and radiant when we receive the resources that we need in order to thrive. So I hope this video really helped you. And always receiving has naturally is connected to confidence as well, because if you feel confident to approach people to ask, then we will ask for more. And if we have very little confidence, we can ask for very little. When we have a lot of confidence, we can ask for a lot. So raising our confidence is naturally a very important part. I realized for myself, just a little bit more confidence helped me to ask for way more. And just a little bit confidence made the difference. I realized that, and that's why I have created a workbook. It's called the Confidence Workbook, and it is helping us to rewire our brains and our beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities in order to become more confident, to feel more confident, to exude more confidence, because I believe that a little bit of confidence can make a huge difference. So if you're interested in getting the Confidence Workbook, the link is going to be in the bio, as well as the confidence course that is open now. So if you desire to join, then check out the links in the bio. I am so happy that you're here and I'm so excited to see you in the next video. Write down, I would be so glad if you write your key takeaway from this video, because it is just so cool to see that other people are on the other side of the screen and they're listening and they're learning something, because otherwise it's just numbers and you don't really like feel the humans. So I would be so glad to see a comment from you, and I'm so excited that you have been here with us. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.